Did you catch Jesus' response to these accusations, these false testimonies, the treatment that he received from these religious leaders? Yesterday, I focused on the motives of these religious leaders, why they wanted to kill Jesus. It wasn't because they really thought that Jesus was doing wrong. They knew how much good he was doing. They were jealous of Jesus. Jesus was taking all of their attention. He was stealing their thunder. Today I want to focus on Jesus' response, or maybe lack thereof, I should say, to how he was being treated, what he was going through. Scripture says that Jesus remained silent. How do you respond when you're being accused of something that you didn't do, and you're being attacked verbally and eventually physically? Jesus' response was silence. He didn't say a word until he was ordered to respond. His character, his integrity preceded him. They knew how good this Jesus was. They were not going to get him to make a mistake. They were not going to find error in him, even though they set up false testimonies. They were not going to find anything wrong with Jesus. And so Jesus didn't have to go to bat for himself. I mean, everything that he did was pure, was from a place of love, from honesty, from authenticity. And so he did not have to defend himself, part of which because he knew that this was God's will, that he would have to endure these insults, these accusations that while they tried to tarnish his reputation, again, it all preceded him. They knew all about Jesus, what he had done, what his mission was. And they didn't like that because it was intruding on their mission. They acted like they were holy, but they were just more concerned about what they could gain from their status, from their position. And Jesus could have easily have turned the tables on them, but he remained silent. And I say turn the tables on him. All these accusations that they were making, these false testimonies that they set up themselves, these religious people, that was all against Jewish law at that time. This trial that was taking place in the middle of the night at a high priest's house, all of that was against Jewish law. All of the error was on them, but yet Jesus remained silent. He could have easily have pointed out all of their flaws, all of their mistakes, especially in this moment. But he didn't say a word until he was ordered to. It would be hard for me to bite my tongue if something like this happened to me. Verbally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, so many things would be running through my mind, like how can I defend myself? How should I respond? Well, Jesus lays that example out there for us, how we should respond. Maybe we should be a little more silent and let our actions speak for themselves. Now, I realize in our sight, our point of view, it didn't end well for Jesus. He died. But it actually did end well for us. It didn't end well for him. He didn't want to go through with it. I don't blame him. Not for us, not for me. I don't deserve what he went through for my salvation. But I'm eternally grateful for it. And one of my many purposes is to live out that gratefulness, to be thankful for this day that he has given me, this opportunity to go to him throughout the day, to connect with him throughout the day, to live for him more each and every day, because I don't deserve what I've been given. I could go down a list for an entire day and a never ending of gratefulness if I just look around. It's not hard to find something to be grateful for. In fact, it'd be hard to stop showing gratefulness for what Jesus did for me. And so maybe we should be still a little more often and reflect on Jesus' example and be slow to speak, quick to listen. It would be hard, easier said than done, right, in a situation like this. But if we are people of integrity, our reputation, it will go before us. Our actions speak louder than words. So God willing, we're never in a situation like Jesus was. But there are people all around the world who are convicted for their faith. And they are incredible examples for me, reminders for me to continue to pray for them, to continue to not take advantage, take for granted where and when I am, and to do as much as I possibly can to point others to Jesus and his example, and being grateful for this time that he's given me. And not just saying that, but actually going out there and living that way.